Hey guys, welcome back. And this has been a weird, interesting, sad kind of 24-hour period for Star Wars. Now, if you didn't notice yesterday, there was this article that came out talking about how George Lucas is now seemingly backing Bob Iger in his proxy fight against Ike Perlmutter and Nelson Peltz. The TLDR on this, Nelson Peltz and Ike Perlmutter, who are massive Disney shareholders, have worked for Marvel, worked with Disney in the past. They want to put their own guys on the board, and they want to see Disney return to making money. Well, unfortunately, Bob Iger got the backing of George Lucas, and whether or not this is genuine, it doesn't really matter. Star Wars has been dead ever since Disney purchased it. Well, at least the new Star Wars has. I don't want to say Star Wars is dead because the original trilogy is not going anywhere. You know, we can just watch that and be happy. But now we're having the Acolyte come out at the same time, at least the trailer for it. The show doesn't come out, I think, for 2 months, 3 months. It's sometime in June. And so we've seen the little teaser posters they've put out for it, and people, of course, have memed the hell out of it because it looks terrible. The official trailer for the Acolyte is out, and it's got more downvotes than upvotes. It's kind of neck and neck right here. The trailer does not look good. And people have been criticizing me for criticizing the line from the trailer about how basically there's no good or evil, it's just who controls the power. And people are like, well, look, they said the same thing in Harry Potter, and if it's the bad guys saying it, who cares? The point is that they're trying to push this morally ambiguous idea into Star Wars when Jedi were always dark versus light. Star Wars was meant to represent the good versus evil. The Jedi were not supposed to be morally ambiguous. That wasn't the whole point. Now we have Leslie Headland. If you remember, she is Harvey Weinstein's former assistant. Yeah, that Harvey Weinstein. Talking about the Acolyte. And these, I don't know that these interviews are going to do them any favors, to be honest, because you have things like this where she said, whatever you think the Acolyte is, it's not. Well, I don't think it's Star Wars, so does that mean it is? I'm really confused. You've got the Acolyte showrunner talking about how it'll change what we know about the Jedi and the Sith, which is not something we want. I mean, they've tried to retcon Star Wars so many times, I don't think anybody wants to see any further changes to what we understand to be, you know, Jedi, Sith, good, evil, whatever. They've honestly broken canon at this point so many times with all these different shows, with the different, you know, spin-offs and the movies, that it doesn't even matter what they want to call it at this point. Now we have this little clip from her, and I've tried checking into this. I think this is a new interview for the release of the trailer. And I'll just go and play it for you right now.
When I saw Frozen as a grown-ass woman, I cried through the entire movie. There was just something about the relationship between the sisters, the like de-villainization of the classic kind of fairy tale bad guy, you know, the concept of true love being between two sisters and not a heterosexual relationship. Like it just destroyed me completely. And I thought, gosh, you know, I would love to make something like this that is, you know, for lack of a better term, Disney, meaning it's something that like my parents would have allowed me to see when I was younger as a queer person.
Gotcha.
But I would have been able to understand as a queer person, and I think I would have had a completely different life. And so I really was inspired by it and was like, God, I would love to make a story like this. And so when I was developing this original idea to pitch to Kathleen, I thought, well, you know, it can't just be that. You know, when you're pitching Star Wars, you have to pull from what, you know, George was also interested in. Like, it can't just be like, well, I'm referencing, especially if you're going to set something, you know, during the High Republic or end of High Republic into prequels, you don't have the Skywalker saga. Like, you can't reference a character that was created by George and or Filoni. Like, you have to create your own new characters.
I think it's worth pointing out that nobody likes the High Republic. This is a series of books and stories that they've tried pushing that nobody wants, because this is just them trying to be more modernized and diverse and inclusive. And if you remember, we have these articles talking about, and this has been kind of, this has been recirculated now in the media, with Leslie Headland talking about how Acolyte's inspiration was basically Frozen meets Kill Bill. And so you have her talking about Frozen in that clip there, about how much it meant to her as a young queer person to see two sisters having the true love story and not having your typical villain. You know, and this is something I've also noticed in a lot of Disney or cartoon movies. You're not getting a lot of good villains in these shows or these movies. They're making them ambiguous. They don't want the villain to be the bad guy anymore. They want you to understand the villain and sympathize with the villain. But yeah, you have basically Leslie Headland talking about how, you know, The entire point is she had this one person that she wanted to put in the film just because she's like, I just want to see this person with a lightsaber. Not because the person's the best actor for the role, or it's going to make the movie better, or the TV show better. It's just one of these, in my head, I want to see her with lightsaber. But yeah, you know, Kill Bill meets Frozen. That's what every Star Wars fan wants, right? This is going to be a complete train wreck, guys. Let me know if you're going to even bother watching this. I'm not currently paying for Disney Plus. I'm sure there's other ways to watch it. I haven't made up my mind yet. But this is going to be a complete disaster. Honestly, Star Wars isn't dead. It's just that anything past the OG Star Wars, just not Star Wars in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about this, and I'll catch you on the next one. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. We do have 2 channels, one for daily uploads, the other one for more of my live streams and hot takes. Links to both are down below, as well as the ability to join as a channel member for as little as $3 a month, and that'll greatly help us out. Much appreciated. We also have links to our Etsy accounts down below, as well as our website. We also have Locals and Subscribestar. If you didn't want to support us on YouTube, you can support us through those. Thanks again for being here, and we will see you on the next one.